Hey guys, just a little disclaimer before the video starts. I am still recovering from strep, so I have a little cough and my voice may be a little nasally, so please forgive that. But other than that, there's not much else wrong with it. So please enjoy the episode, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. Hello, and welcome to the Quality Not Included podcast with your host, Jimmy ZJL, also known as Adam. And today we're talking about something a little different, and we also have something a little new. As you might see in the background, if you have your phone on, you'll see that I actually have the Division 2 gameplay in the background. This is a review on the Division 2, which is going to be on a podcast, so it's technically not a podcast, but we're not going to say that for now. But yeah, welcome. The Division 2. What is there to say about it? Is it good? Is it bad? We'll cover that in this podcast. Now remember, please keep in mind that this podcast is completely unscripted. I do all this from the top of my brain. So if you hear any inconsistencies, that is because I'm not really running off a script. If I read off a script, I would be sounding like this. Hello and welcome to because I can't read off of scripts. I can't. It's almost impossible for me. So I'm just gonna one-shot it. Hopefully it works. But yeah. So did I enjoy it? First off, my personal experience. I played this game for about 4 or 5 hours. For the first few hours, it was actually really good. The one thing I really liked about it is the atmosphere. Now, I know games these days aren't about... Well, never mind, let me change that. I know games these days are about the graphics and the atmosphere and all that, but I have to say this game sets it, perfectly. Holy crap. This game takes place in Washington, D.C., as you probably know already. You're trying to take back the Capitol and all that. It's pretty dang cool. But the thing is, like I said, the atmosphere is great. It's beautiful. There's shrubbery everywhere, and there's destroyed, demolished buildings. Everything looks decrepit but beautiful at the same time. It's kind of like the Last of Us effect. But the one thing is, it's very barren right now. Because I don't think many people are playing the game. I don't know. I ran across, I think, 2 players that were not NPCs, and every single one of them has looked at me for a little bit and then walked away. So I don't know if it's just a lack of people playing, or if there's something that I'm doing that's not right. But there's nobody. There's NPCs that give you little side missions or little snippets of certain things. But overall, it's not really that interactive. But it's still fun. There's a lot of things to explore. There's a lot of extra places to loot stuff, and a lot of enemy types. They have heavies, snipers. They have the people that just run at you with batons for some reason, who think they're gonna do something. And then they have rocket launcher people, and yeah. It's technically the Ubisoft chain of events. Like in Far Cry, you have separated enemy types. Well, that's my next point. If you have played this game, you will understand that most of the weapons you pick up are semi-automatic. Now, this is a pet peeve with me, because I am a guy who cannot cover system. I've never been able to cover system. I don't know why. I'm the guy in the game that you see running around the map, running and gunning and dying a bunch of times, because, well, I don't play the game like it's intended to be played. This is my problem with The Division. This game is all about staying in cover and popping out of cover, killing the person, going back in the cover, and rinse and repeat. That's technically about 30 to 40% of the game. Other parts of the game, you're going to be activating computers, unlocking doors, waiting for things to load, and it's the good old Ubisoft and game tactic of wait for this to do wait for this to download or unlock while you shoot down a bunch of enemies. And by the way, whenever you're done shooting the enemies, this thing will be done. It's technically, it's just a timer. And there's a lot of filler in the game. There is quite a bit of filler. But it's still fun. Excuse me while I take a sip of my drink real quick. Okay, so another great thing that I like about it is the character customization. Holy heck, HE double hockey sticks. Ladies and gentlemen, okay, I don't think you understand this. The customization options in this game are pretty dang good. It's been a long time since I played a game that lets you do as much as this game does. Technically, Fallout lets you do what you do in this game. It is outstanding. And the thing is, like I said, the graphics are amazing. So every single tweak that you make to your character, even though it can be the dumbest look, it still looks realistic. And I made this like, oh man, I might insert a picture of this dude. He has like, I forgot what you call it. It's like a sheriff's mustache and beard. And then he has aviators on. This dude, and he has a beanie. And he just looks awesome. Like he can take down the squadron. Excuse me. A squadron of hyenas. Oh, by the way, why did you say hyenas? Well, because that's exactly what they are. The enemies in this game are called hyenas because they kill you and they laugh. No, they're called hyenas because they're scavengers and they don't care about anybody. It's mostly, that's about 30% of the enemies in this game are hyenas, mostly because they've kind of taken over Washington D.C. There's backstory in the game, but it's kind of hard to come by. Echoes are a lot more scattered in this game than I remember. But technically, what I understood, after the virus or the green whatever virus, can't remember the name, was spread on a Black Tuesday, I think, or Black Friday. They kind of like slowly took over, and now they're the commanding power of Washington D.C. So they're just everywhere, and I gotta say, kudos to Ubisoft for putting absolutely hilarious dialogue in these guys. It's not boring, even though you're sitting in cover. You could be sitting in cover for 8 hours, and the enemies are just talking and just having normal conversations, and it's just like everyday speech. It's like real life, and it's pretty neat. One thing is, though, they can talk all they want, but their AI is kind of screwed. It's kind of weird. You could be running around like a maniac, and they just go, "What's that? What's that? What's that?" And they're looking around like they can't see anything, and you're just running around like a madman. But the second you you slide in the cover, they're like, "I see you," and like, wait a second, how does this work? But the AI is a little wonky. But one thing I do enjoy about this game is the photo mode. That's another cool thing. You can technically just take a break out of the game and just go ahead and take selfies. It's really cool. And it's really nice because the game has a beautiful atmosphere, like I said. But one of the things about the atmosphere, I'm gonna have to say it's freaking silent as hell. Like you can hear a pin drop in the game, literally. There's nothing. There's background noise, but it's ambience, excuse me. You can hear like the wind and like some bugs flying around, but you cannot. There's nothing. There's only music whenever you get into like a enemy territory or actual like main mission. That's whenever like the music starts playing. But if you're walking around the city, if you're dedicated enough, you can go from one side of the map to the next. Each zone is just a lot more like restricted, because the further out you get, the more powerful the enemies get. And right now, I'm not far out at all. I'm just like I'm at the theater district, and I'm moving. Let's see, south. I think in the game. I don't know if it's south in the game, but from the map point, I'm going south. But it's just quiet. I guess that's just to let you enjoy the atmosphere of the game. But that's just the thing. It's desolate, and I guess that's why they did it, to show you how destroyed the city is. But I would enjoy just like, you know, a little music function just to have in the background, like on, because you have a phone in the game. That's how you take pictures. So I was wondering like, hey, why don't they just have like a little, you know, like a little soundtrack option, just so you can have a little bit of music while you're walking around the city. But yeah, let's see, what else? Oh yeah, gun customization. That's pretty neat. I know it was in the last game, but in this game it's pretty cool. You get skills and all that, and if you upgrade it, you get certain attachments that you can put on your weapons and all that. Really neat, really neat. But my favorite thing about it is whenever you get like a heavier weapon, because as you might see in this video, I run with I forgot the name of it, but it's a heavy weapon. Well, it's an LMG, but that thing can deal some damage, but it has horrible recoil whenever you first get it. I think I got it off of like a boss enemy, but whenever I first got it, it was horrible. I couldn't use it at all. It did good damage, but it would like shoot my character back so much. So I got the grip attachment, and holy heck, that thing is amazing. Like, that is the only gun I use now. Although the reload is really slow, but I'm pretty sure you can get a perk or something to upgrade that. But it's amazing. You can tear through 8 enemies in a minute, or no, not even a minute, like a second with that gun. Grenades are pretty useful. They do a lot of damage, except to armored enemies. The turret, I only have the turret and the shield at the moment. That's the only two I run with. The turret, very useful, very weak though. If the enemies see the turret, they will just assume that you're in the area, and they'll just straight up attack you on sight. I don't know why. The turret's useful. I'm assuming it'll be more useful in the later stages when you upgrade it. But the first deviation of the turret is just not really that good. It's good for dealing splash damage, so you can like it'll distract somebody so you can attack someone else, and then whenever you're done attacking that person, you can attack the person that the turret was attacking that has like a little bit less health. So it makes life a little bit easier. The shield, on the other hand, is extremely useful. I use the ballistic one, I believe, where you have a pistol. It covers your whole body, and you use a pistol. It's extremely useful. The pistols are pretty strong too. There's another one that just covers the bottom of your body, so you can use a submachine gun. And they have one that only covers like a little bit, but it also reflects bullets and hits other people. So I just chose the standard, you know, regular shield because I'm boring. Let's see here. What else we have? Oh yeah. Gosh, this thing just makes me so nervous. Let's see here. What is it called? The shield generator, I guess. Whatever. Not Star Wars. You have to replace it whenever it goes down, or you can just wait, but it takes ages to freaking get back. So you're gonna be attacked quite a bit in this game, and whenever you get attacked, your shield depletes before your health. And once your shield's gone, your health goes, and your health goes like that. So you're gonna be using a heck of a lot of shields. So what you do, you just take it off and you put it back on, but it takes forever. I don't know if it's just me, but whenever I'm being attacked by 8 enemies left and right, I don't have time to wait 30 seconds to take off a shield and put it back on, because in 30 seconds that health bar goes from 100 to negative 100 that fast. So yeah, that's basically the gameplay aspects of the game, of course. It's really fun. Do I suggest you play it? Heck yeah, it's fun. Although it is an internet-only game, which is another one of my pet peeves, but it's okay. I have internet. It doesn't require PS Plus to play, so that's okay. Bad thing is, if you're like me and have bad internet, I have internet, but it's not that great. But if you have bad internet, the game immediately has a patch that takes about, for me, 10 hours. It's a 36 gigabyte patch, which isn't that big, saying for like, you know, normal games. But it's pretty big for me. I had to wait 10 hours for this game to download, and it did not disappoint, of course. But that's annoying whenever you get a game on a disc and it automatically has a 36 gig download. And you also have to be a part. Well, not you don't have to be a part of the Ubisoft club. You have to have a Ubisoft account, which I did. I mean, it has its pros and cons. It's a pretty great game. Gameplay-wise, it's really steady. Like, holy cow, it's steady. Everything's fluent, except I have a little bit of problem with the cover system, but that's just me, because I don't play with cover systems. Like, sometimes you'll be around the corner, and you come out of the corner, and then you glitch into a wall, and you can't move, and you're just kind of staying there walking, and the enemies are just chowing you down. I also experienced a few more glitches. I guess it's because it's in the early stages. There probably will be patched. I've had some experiences whenever you're like going downstairs or going upstairs, and you just completely glitch into the stairs, and you just stay there walking, and then you have to you have to take the left analog stick and wiggle it, and then you pop out of the stairs again. I don't know if it's just a problem with my copy of the game, but that's been happening every single time. It's a little bit annoying, but it only happens for a few seconds. And it's a heck of a lot better than Metro Exodus. Even though Metro Exodus has made it to my top 3 video games of all time. It's up there with The Last of Us. And another game which I won't mention, because I probably will get some backlash for saying it. It's Advanced Warfare, by the way. But yeah, it's up there. Metro Exodus had this problem whenever every inch of the floor was a guess of what you would land on. The game was a little glitchy, Metro Exodus, but it was still extremely fun. This one is actually, excuse me, it's extremely polished. Like, almost to like where you would think it would be out for like 2 years now. The game is really polished. Like, really, for Ubisoft standards, it's pretty good. Now, this is coming from a unprofessional game reporter. If you really want an honest report on this, I suggest either going watch Before You Buy or Video Game Donkey. I think he did a video on this already, but them two probably already have videos out in this, and they're probably 100 times better than this. But if you want an a really honest, I can't think of the word. I guess a report about this game from a guy who, of course, isn't getting paid by Ubisoft, of course, that hasn't, had any sponsors or anything. This is 100% honest. The game is good. I'm not going to say it's extremely good. I'm not going to say it's the best game of the year. And I'm not going to say it's a piece of steaming garbage, because it's not. It's really good. It's good for about 3 hours. That's what I said at the beginning of the video. It gets a little repetitive, and it gets a little stressful, I guess. Because if you're like me, you have no friends. So you have to play the game by yourself, because you have no friends. So I'm just sitting there, playing by myself, and I think the game tweaks the enemies to where they'll be less powerful and have less armor if you're playing by yourself, but because you have no friends. So it's kind of annoying, because you'll die a lot. You'll die a lot. Yeah, you'll die quite a bit. And if you don't have a friend to revive you, that means if you're in a non-respawnable, yeah, that is what it is, non-respawnable area, like in a final boss mission, you cannot respawn, and you'll start all the way at the beginning of the mission. And if you get kicked from the server, here's my last pet peeve. The servers for this game are a little funky. Yeah, I've been kicked from the server more times than I can say yes. Okay. I understand it's Ubisoft and their servers don't have the best track record, but come on. at least every 15 minutes I was being not banned. I was being dumped from the server for no inherent reason. I would be in the middle of a middle of a mission, and then it said disconnected from the server. And I have an internet box in my room, and I could see that it's at green whenever it happens. So I know I didn't drop the internet. So I'm just sitting there wondering why did I just get dumped from the server? So I rejoined, and I'm back in the game. Play about 15 minutes, get dumped from the server again. Rejoin, and take into account the game takes about a minute and no, it takes about 2 minutes to load. Take into account that it takes about 2 whole minutes to load. So you're sitting at the loading screen after every 15 minutes, adding 2 minutes to that, and it just gets a little repetitive. And along with you dying a lot and having to wait through another loading screen after you die, getting dumped from the server, and that one time my internet did fail, but I'm faithful, and I believe that this game will be fixed in the future. So, that's my honest report on this game. Should you buy it? I say yes. Or at least wait until it's a tad bit cheaper. It's at full retail price because it... excuse me. It's at full retail price because it just came out. So I suggest you wait until it gets a little bit cheaper, wait until a little more people start playing it, and then you have yourself a good game. So thank you for joining me for this episode of the Quality Not Included podcast. This is a little shorter one, but it was a review. I hope you guys enjoy the gameplay in the background. Recorded at 60 frames per second, as you see. I don't know how the heck that happened. My PlayStation just came through. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.